In your estimation today, what are the good short-term and good long-term investments? What seems to be the most solid thing out there?
Yeah, so I will give you a couple of things. One, it's essential to find a group, I'm gonna say a group of people who are like-minded. Those group of people might just be the people in your own house, and that's fine, okay? What do I mean by that? There may be somebody in the house, guess what, you gotta go to the work job every day and make sure we got health care benefits and help pay the mortgage. And someone else is like, all right, I'm gonna step out and now think about how I'm going to go out and create a business. And if you say, well, look, we're both invested in this job 15 years till retirement, we don't want to leave that. Then you say, how do you max out your 401k plans? Okay, and how do you go and make those sort of investments work for you? Many large corporations, as you probably all know, have matching, they went from what's called a defined benefit plan to these defined contribution plans, and often they'll do dollar for dollar matching, up to 6%, 8%, whatever it is. Max that out, okay? Because the greatest return we've seen over the last 30 years has been equities in these United States. We don't participate in them because people don't put the money in the equity markets. If you're in a corporation, go put them in those 401k plans, max out your equity. Well, you got to figure out where you are close to retirement, max out your equity piece of this thing. That typically has the highest set of returns on average over the last 30 years.
Wait. Oh, 401k?
Yeah. If you're working in a company, often they have 401k plans. And these are, they used to have, defined, you go work for a company and you get a pension. Like my mother worked for the Denver Public School Systems. And when she retired, she got a pension. Okay, those pension dollars were guaranteed in essence by the pension fund. That pension fund actually just takes the money, that's $62 a month that my mom was contributing for 50 years, and actually took that and invested it. Now, what they need to do is invest it in private equity firms, but that's a whole other conversation. But they invested it usually in equities and debt markets, and that's ultimately what created the value for them to pay it out for the remainder of their life. If you work in a company and they have a 401k plan, you should go max that out. If you don't work for a company, you got to think about things called Roth IRAs. Okay, and there's a bunch of great financial planners I was looking at, I walked the floor earlier, who can teach you about Roth IRAs, efficient ways to invest money for your retirement. If you're not thinking about, you should always be thinking about retirement, by the way, but retirement age and start a business. If you're not starting a business, typically I think your best dollars, if you're not starting a business, should go into the equity markets or in real estate markets that you've got some affinity for, that you know. If you don't know that real estate market, be very wary about it. It's like, well, why am I getting this opportunity? But otherwise, I would look at doing, equity markets through some sort of investments in the equity markets, equity accounts like, E-Trade and Ameritrade and all those sorts of things. That's where I'd go. The fact of the matter, though, is if you're starting a business, typically your next best use of capital is in your own business, because you understand it, hopefully, you can control it, and you have the ability to create a higher return than investing passively in the public markets. So those are the ways to think about how do you invest short-term, medium-term, and long-term in your own future, your financial future.